Marcia, go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, during the campaign, you spoke movingly about the pain you felt about getting death threats because of your religion. And I wonder if, when you had these demonstrators on the steps of where you now live, if you feel that same pain and if you've been getting death threats and other things that really are inappropriate for somebody in your position. And can you talk about what it personally means to you?
I first just want to say that I'm deeply thankful to the men and women of the NYPD, many of whom are on my security detail and ensure that I am safe, that my wife is safe, that we do not have to worry about our ability to go about our days. I do not have to worry about my ability to carry out the responsibility that I have to New Yorkers. And I'll say, Marcia, the thing that affects me more is not language that people use to describe me, but that it's language that they use to describe so many who call this city home. And even as in that protest, there is a vision of a city that does not leave room for more than 1 million Muslims who call this city their home, and it is a vision that I abhor, I also still do believe that those protesters have a right to protest. And that is part of what it means to be able to stand up for the laws of the city as well as the Constitution of our country.
For everybody issue, that we really need to have a city where there's respect for everybody, Muslims, Jews, Catholics, everybody, and that the protests that happened on your doorstep showed no respect for anybody.
I think we do need a city that has respect for every single New Yorker. And that's the city that I grew up in. That's the city that I love. I know that's a city that still exists. And I also think that oftentimes when we see these kinds of displays, they are not coming from New Yorkers. The protests that we're speaking about, we're talking about people who come from out of state with a vision of a city that does not match up to the one that we love and that we live in. And I look forward, frankly, to the act of building something together. Because what I truly appreciate about the teachers and the staff here today is that they are raising the next generation, and they are raising them with a love not only of their city, but also of themselves. Every single one of those children that greeted us as we walked in here was proud of who they were. They were proud of where they call their home. They're proud of their city. And we want to have a city where no one feels as if they have to fit themselves into a box in order to be able to live in the place they call home.
You feel you have to fit yourself into a box. You think about this at night. Is this something that's in your head?
No matter the attempts, I will never be ashamed of who I am. I'll never be ashamed of my faith. I'll never be ashamed of the things that make me me. And I'll say, growing up in this city, one of the things that I loved most was the understanding that I was taught that difference of where we come from, of what faiths we belong to, if any, of what we believe, it is not a marker of separation. Rather, it is an invitation to be a part of something bigger than ourselves.